selon votre invitation et je vous souhaite la bienvenue à cette réunion webinaire. Devant vous, c'est le frère Gérard. Je suis le modérateur de cette réunion et votre invité principal, c'est M. Paul, le coordinateur de Fracarita International, qui va nous présenter sa deuxième présentation sur le processus de demande des fonds pour le projet des activités génératrices de revenus. Si vous vous souvenez très bien, sa première présentation a eu lieu il y a presque 2 semaines. Je devrais être présent aussi dans cette réunion, mais malheureusement, j'ai une difficulté pour se connecter à l'Internet. Alors, je m'excuse pour cet événement. Nous serons aussi ensemble avec le frère Jimmy qui va nous aider dans le domaine technique. Et permettez-moi de faire une petite introduction en anglais et dans un instant, nous allons commencer notre réunion. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, dear brothers and collaborators, depending on your location. And I welcome you all to this Zoom meeting. In front of you on the screen is Brother Gerard. I'm the moderator of this meeting, and our guest speaker is Mr. Paul Segers, the coordinator of Fracarita International, who is going to give us his second presentation on the application process for the income-generating activities. If you recall very well, his first presentation was 2 weeks ago, and I was supposed to attend this meeting, but due to the fact that I could not be connected to the internet, I was not able to attend. So I apologize for this. So in a few minutes, let us start our meeting. We'll be also together with Brother Jimmy, who is in the technical domain to help us for this meeting to be more smooth. So I will invite you to be well, to prepare our opening prayer. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. Almighty Father, we thank you for this time, for this meeting. We thank you also for the gift of each one here present in this meeting. Thank you for the gift of our vocation and also our congregation. As we start this meeting, during which we'll be discussing about how to sustain our communities and also our apostolates through projects, we pray that you may send your Holy Spirit, especially to our presenter, so that what we'll be sharing in this meeting may bear fruit and progress for the people whom we are serving in our apostolates. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, chers frères et collaborateurs, avant que j'invite M. Paul pour sa présentation, permettez-moi de communiquer quelques points pour orientation. Pour faciliter le dynamisme de la réunion, vérifiez si vous êtes connecté pour participer dans cette réunion en utilisant votre nom. Cela va nous aider pour vous appeler quand vous avez une question ou bien une suggestion. Lorsque vous avez une question ou bien une suggestion, appuyez sur le bouton « Lever la main » qui se trouve sur votre ordinateur ou bien votre téléphone selon l'appareil que vous utilisez. Notez que notre présentation sera faite en anglais, mais il y aura aussi le texte traduit en français qui sera posté sur notre site d'Internet. Si vous avez une question, n'hésitez pas à poser la question ou bien d'envoyer un message chez le frère Jimmy en utilisant l'email ou bien l'adresse électronique que souvent il utilise pour nous envoyer ces informations pour la congrégation. Encore une fois, soyez le bienvenu pour notre réunion. So, our dear brothers, before I invite Mr. Paul for his presentation, allow me to give you some points of orientation on how we work with some items of the computer so that we can be on the same page. To facilitate the dynamism of the meeting, check if you have logged in to attend this meeting using your name, because this will help us to call your name once you have a question or a suggestion. When you have a question, just press the button raise your hand, which is on the bottom of your computer or your phone, and then you will be asked to put your question. If you have also any question, feel free to ask your question. You can use also the email that Brother Jimmy uses when he's sending us information about our congregation. Once again, I welcome you to this meeting. Now I invite Mr. Paul to start his presentation. Mr. Paul.
Okay, brothers, dear brother Jared, dear brother Jimmy, dear brothers worldwide, dear colleagues, dear friends. May I start my presentation with a quote? And the quote of today is one step further, not 1,000 steps, one step further. And it refers to the intention of the goal of this second session. And that is to go one step further from a good IGA idea to a startup of that IGA. And just one sprung, one jump, one step further. That's the goal of today, to help you to make that step from an idea to the first application, the first concrete making of that IGA. Why is that? We go slowly. We go slowly because we do want, as Brother Jimmy said it last time, it is important that everyone is in the boat. We don't want to lose a single brother. Each brother, leading brothers, other brothers, staff, has to be aware in those new times with these new challenges and new opportunities. The IGAs can have an answer, not an answer, but just an answer to certain questions, to be more financially self-sufficient. So an IGA is important. It is not magic for all. No. It's just an answer to a specific question. How can we become more financially self-dependent and independent? Sorry, because it is important. New times deserve new answers, and together we are strong to think, to work together around the IGAs. So this second session wants to help you, all of you, to give you some tools, some instruments to make that second step from an idea to an application. Do you understand? So if I go too fast, just raise your hand, because we do want, Brother Jared, Brother Jimmy, myself, that everyone is with us. Have everyone in the boat. Okay, that's my code for today. Okay, so let's start. As Brother Jared said it, we have split it in parts. After each part, I have a small pause, and then you can ask questions. Is that okay? So not just a very long presentation, no, just parts, and then each time with the question. Is that okay for you, Brother Jared? It's okay. Okay, well, let's start now. So for the persons who weren't there in the first session, don't panic. The first session has just the idea to give some background information about what is an IGA, why is an IGA needed, what is a call for application, and so on, so on. Just that. It is all here. So if you do want to read it again, send us a mail and we can send it in French and in English. Both versions are here or present. Now this second session, of course, we become more and more concrete. So first, next step, more concrete. And to show how is that, we want to show to in this hour how we can put your idea on paper, how you can assess your own idea on feasibility. Is it realistic? Is it okay? Just to do it, to check it, we can give you, show you some instruments to do that for yourself. So to help you, to encourage you to think with us together about IGAs in your own context. It's important. So it's not coming from above, it's coming from here. So we are here to support you to think about the IGAs, and for that we have several tools, simple tools, efficient tools to help you in that. That's the first phase, and that's today. So instruments, documents to help you to make your own idea a bit more concrete. Do you see? And so step by step we go to a big, a good, a well-founded IGA. That's the final goal, of course. Okay? Everyone is with us, I hope, so we can move on. So the focus, I said, is on the documents, instruments to help you to submit a first application. A first application is, just as we said it in the first time, a small presentation of what you want to do. 3 pages. Application is a 3-page document with your ideas on paper. Just say us what it is, and so on and so on. But we are coming to that later on. But that is the final way for today. How can we put together a good application? Okay, that's the final. But before that, we have several small steps to take. And with each step, I want on to integrate you and to get along together with you. Okay. Voila. So I now ask Brother Jimmy to present the first screen. Brother Jimmy, yes. No, that's not the first. The overall screen. It's an Excel file. The overall screen. Fine. It's not so important, so I can go without it, but there is another screen. Yeah, techniques, yeah, it's a bit a problem. So let us just go. Yes, indeed. Thank you. So this is the first phase. This is the first phase, and the first phase, or A and B. A and B is the first phase. Yes, okay. So we have there 2 green, the green ones, 2 green supportive basic documents in the green column, 1 and 2. And then we have 2 supportive instruments, templates, to make it more concrete, number 3 and number 4. So today we are going to present to you the first, second, the third, and the fourth. The other ones is for next time. Okay, step by step. Okay, so we first start, of course, and you have to have a knowledge about what is an IGA. What is an IGA in God's name? What is that? Well, we have written that about in English and in French, a basic note, a basic internal policy note. I may invite you to read it, French or in English. It's 25 pages. It's not that long, but it gives you a good idea about the basics. What is an IGA? What is the goal of an IGA? Why is it needed? Why do we have, as brothers of charity, create an IGA? Why? So I think it's important to read it and to have yourself that knowledge needed to take the second step. So please, I invite you all, read it on your ease, step by step. There are much of information in that. Think about it, speak about it with your fellow brothers, but it is needed as the first step. You have to know what is an IGA, okay? So please read it. So there are three focal points in that. So I cannot read it again now. Of course, we have not the time. It's 25 pages, but there are three main points. And the first point I want to stress is the mental switch. So beside all the theory and the instruments and the means and so on, it is important for us as brothers and staff to make a mental switch in our head, to make a mental switch, to step down from just being a brother, a receiver of means and spending it, to a brother thinking about creating something, creating means to support our services or community life and so on, to create something. That's important. This indeed is the first page of that note. So inside in that there are many things, but the first thing I'm now explaining is the very importance to make your own. Each of us, each brother, each staff, a mental switch. We have to do something else, something more. And by thinking that we can create something, being the means to support the services or schools and so on, is a step further. But I'm very sure, and I've spoken to many brothers in the past years. I know it is inside each of you. We can do that. Make the mental switch to create something, to create means, to create income, to support our working as brothers of charity. We do need means, of course. We do need means. So I'm very convinced, it is my passion to see it in each of you. We are capable to make that mental switch from a brother receiver or a beggar, sorry for the word, to a brother creator, a brother entrepreneur, initiative taker. We can do that. That's the mental switch. That's one of the points in this note. So please read it. Okay. A second point in this note gives you as well some instruments, some things to do, to check, and so on. It's interesting to do it. I just say two of them. For instance, in that note, there is also the instrument we are going to present later on, the scoring. To score your own IGA idea. It is inside, it is explained there. So please read it, and then we can go on further. And then, of course, in that note, it is also a general idea to make a connection. To make a connection between the good of being brothers of charity and the good of the business world. Both worlds are different, of course, but they are connected. And we want to connect them by learning from each other. Business world can learn from us as brothers of charity in terms of values, ethics, and so on, in efforts. Do you see, in social things, they can learn from us. See, but we can learn from them as well by means of how to manage an IGA, how to manage a social business. We can learn from them as well. And so making that connection, both sides, is so important. So I invite you, read that note. We can learn from each other and go upward together. Okay? Three main points in that note. So I just say, read it. And if there are questions, please, we are here to support. So I want to say it again. No, it's for later on. Brother Jim, yes. Okay, thank you. Sorry. No, I just wanted to say, if there are questions about this note, please don't hesitate, call us. IGAs, it's not about us. It's not about me. No, it's not about our team. No, we are a servant organ. We are here to serve you. So if you have questions, if you have reflections, if you have ideas, we are here to serve you. Okay? Voila. The first part. Questions. Over to Brother Jared.
OK. Merci, Monsieur Paul. Alors, chers frères, si vous avez des questions, c'est votre étape pour les poser. If you have questions, please feel free to ask your questions.
Yes, please. It's all clear.
They are still thinking. Let us
Okay, yes.
a few minutes. Yeah.
No.
Yes, there is one question, Mr. Paul, on the screen. They are asking if they can get your notes.
Of course, yes, indeed, yes, of course, yes, indeed, they can.
So,
they can, yeah, of course.
Okay. Il y a quelqu'un qui pose la question si nous pouvons recevoir les notes de M. Paul.
Oui,
il est d'accord. Il va envoyer les notes.
Évidemment, oui, c'est ça.
OK. Merci. I think, Mr. Paul, we can proceed to the second part.
Yeah, okay. So you see on the screen, brothers and staff. Yeah, sorry, second point is the ethical code. Second document is the ethical code, and I will show it over to you. I think you have it all. Yes, it's just one page. It's one page, the ethical code. Why is it number 2? Because it is important, brothers and staff. Just an IGA is not just an IGA. It is an IGA of the Brothers of Charity. And there has to be an ethical code from the very beginning. So that's why we put the ethical code on the place too. After knowing, yes, that's it, yes. After knowing what is an IGA, you have to be aware. You have to be aware that it is not just an IGA. No. It is an IGA of the Brothers of Charity. So the ethics and the way of conduct is very, very important. Yeah. So that's why we want to say it here again. Please read it, integrate it in your idea, check it with your ideas. Check it with your first idea and then see, is it in line with this code? Is it in line? Okay, we can proceed. If it isn't, it stops here. So the code of ethics, certainly here for an IGA of the Brothers of Charity, is a decisive criteria. If it is not in line with this, we cannot go on with this, with the IGA, okay? So it is a very compact text, but with a huge of content in it. So I will go through it quickly, but to integrate you in the content of this important code of ethics and conduct. Okay. Of course, the first point of that code says the IGAs has to be in line with the core values of the Brothers of Charity. Of course, that's logic, but we wanted to state it formally. It has to be in line with the core values. Yeah? Okay, and then we have a slide, a certain preference. If you can propose as an IGA, which is connected with the main areas in which we are specialized, education, healthcare, and the care for persons with limitations, and the three main domains. If you present an IGA, that's an added value. If you can connect it with it, in which way or another, an IGA which has a connection with each, with the three or with one of them or two, has an added value. Eh? Of course, you can also propose other IGAs, but this is an added value of it. Yeah? So a connection with the three main areas. Okay. Of course, brothers, point 3, empowerment. We have spoken about in the first session of the self-empowerment, and the group empowerment is important. Here we want to say, okay, it is important to involve the local community as well. How, in which way is the local community involved in that IGA? If it isn't, it is a problem, I think. So we are very strong for the idea to make a connection with the community in your region, in your context. That's also a very strong added value within the code of ethics. Okay. Of course, an IGA is an IGA. An IGA is not a hobby. An IGA is not a free time. No. It's hard. It's hard work, but focused on creating income, creating recurrent income. So the business, the focus of an IGA is creating money. Let us be clear about it. Not a pseudo IGA, a real IGA creates income. So it has to be focused on making money. Okay, let it be very clear. Point 5, of course, it has to be conform the law. Conform the law. So we are against all ways of corruption. All ways. No corruption. Not at all. That are the ethics of the Brothers of Charity. We have to be honest, truthfully, transparent. That has to be very clear, and of course in line with the laws of your context. 5 and 6. I've now taken 2 bit. And of course, brothers, 7 is also very important. It has to be transparent. The way we are doing things, creating things with means, external, internal, has to be transparent. So reporting, and that's a weak point. I know, I can feel it. That's a weak point. We have to be more stronger in reporting. So reporting of an IGA, important point, it has to be reported in a transparent way. Point 8, point 7, very important as well. Of course, we are open for partnerships. Yes, indeed. Where we can collaborate, we have to do it, but only if the partners can share the same core value. So not every partner is a good partner. No, we have to be selective in our choice for partners, only if they can formally and in practice support the same core values. Then we can open a dialogue to collaborate and so on about our IGAs. Okay, also very important and more and more important in the new contexts now. Okay, point 8. Point 9, of course, it has to be eco-friendly. We have to be sustainable, of course. Yes, indeed, the care for the environment is also important. Yes, indeed. Let us integrate this as well in this code of ethics. Yeah? And of course, we are a bit severe. Yes, indeed, sorry for it, but it has to be examined as well. At the end of the IGA, after 1 year and 2 years and so on, it has to be examined. It has to be examined. We have to see Is the IGA creating money, or is it just a trying to, or is it failing? Okay, that's no critics, but we have to be together with you in dialogue and examine if the IGA creates indeed the intended income or not. So I say it again, the ethical code is important. We are creating IGAs, but an IGA of the Brothers of Charity is not just an IGA. No, it is a specific IGA. Specific. And one of the foundations is a strong connection with the ethical code and the values inside. That's my point. Ethical code number 2, high in the ranking, because it is important. So, Brother Jared, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Yes.
So, dear brothers, if there's any question on this part, please feel free to ask your questions. Si vous avez des questions, si la partie qu'on a présentée récemment, posez aussi les questions. I see, Mr. Paul, on the screen, there is a question about how do we coordinate the projects? The question is asking, whom do we have to address a project, and how do we coordinate our projects?
I see it's very simple. So we do propose that worldwide, each IGA application, so you start with an application as the first step, it has to go to the regional superiors. And for Africa, there is a second level, because it's so huge, we do want as well, after the regional superior, that it is sent to the provincial superior. So in very concrete terms, it is very needed for us that Brother Jared can say, okay, that IGA, that region is integrated in our priority plan, in our strategic plan. Yes, that's very important to know. So we do need, in fact, as an office, as a supportive office, two advisors of the regional superior and of the provincial superior. He has to confirm us, okay, you can study it in terms of management, financing, and so on and so on, but it is integrated in a broader plan. Do you see? So the integration in the planning of the region and of the province is very important. Yes, so we do want that it passes through the superiors. Yes, indeed. Voila. But I want to say it again. If you have a question, of course, before you do your application, please call us. WhatsApp, mail, by phone, Zoom. We are here, eh? So we are here to advise you and to help you. So we are here. Eh? Many hours we are here. We have a small team, eh? 2 brothers, Brother Ernest, Brother Michel, and myself. But we have a strong team, committed to help and to support. But once you say, okay, my application is, I think, ready, I'm going to send it to the regional superior and then to the provincial superior, because it's important for us to know in advance, is it integrated in a bigger plan, a strategic plan? Is that correct? Is that a bit clear?
Yes, I think it is clear. Maybe I can complete by saying something. Yes. When it comes for the procedure for submitting projects, as you said, Mr. Paul, that is the way. The one who is having a project has to contact the regional superior.
Yes.
Then he has to check if that project is fitting with the plan of the region, also is in the line of our charism.
Yes.
And once it's approved, now with the new structure, which is soon will be also communicated, it will be sent to the provincial level. Then from there also, we'll do a kind of assessment about the project, and then it comes to Fracarita International at your office in Ghent.
Yes.
that is the process, how we have to start to work from now.
Yeah.
So I will try also to say it in French. Il y a une question de quelqu'un qui veut savoir comment est-ce qu'on va procéder pour envoyer un projet, que le projet soit approuvé. La procédure est la suivante. Celui qui va initier le projet, donc il doit présenter son projet chez son supérieur régional et après avoir approuvé au niveau régional, le projet sera envoyé maintenant au niveau provincial, là aussi pour voir si le contenu, ça concorde avec le plan de la région et aussi le plan de la province. Et après, on va maintenant envoyer le projet au niveau de Fracarita international à Gand. Je pense que c'est ça que je peux donner comme réponse à cette question. Okay. We don't have another question. Maybe you can proceed, Mr. Paul.
Okay. Thank brother. Okay.
Yeah.
Dear brothers and staff, we go more and more concrete, of course. So I have many times heard the question: Can we submit an IGA? No matter what. No, there are some requirements. There are some requirements. I said it again. An IGA of the Brothers of Charity is not just a IGA. It is a specific IGA. And so we have some expectations, requirements on which IGA has to respond in advance, in the beginning. Yes. And I can summarize them in two main blocks: general requirement and specific requirement. So step by step, we go more and more concrete. If they don't align with that, we are going to say, sorry, brother, sorry, colleague of staff, and so on, but it's not going to pass. It's not going to pass. So which are there? They are, I think 6, 5 general criteria. Of course, it has to be in line with our mission. It has to be in line. That's, I think, logic. But it is needed to point it, and it is connected with the formal content. So always the same. It has to be specific, connected with our mission, with our charism. That's a very strong point. If it isn't, sorry, with all sympathy, but it will not pass. Of course, B, and we have just said that the ethical standards, the ethical connection, the ethical code is extremely important. So we have to see it through your concept note. Where is the connection with the mission, with the ethics? We have to see that. Okay, so it's up to you, not to us, to you, to write it and to show it. Where are those connections with the mission and with the ethics? Okay. C, it's also very important in simple words. An IGA has to be focused on the long term. So not a quick win, not a quick win of 1 or 2 years. No, it has to be focused on the longer term. You have to integrate a vision for more years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and so on and so on. It has to be explained in your concept note and, of course, in your business plan, of course. So long-term IGAs, no short-term wins. No, long-term is very important. And of course, brothers, D. For instance, if you have a yearly need for a community, for an operation of 100,000 euros a year, it has no use to present an IGA which can generate 200 euros. That has no use, of course. It has to be in balance. If you have a larger need, you have to present, I think, a bigger IGA, a small, a more extended IGA. It has to be in line a bit. You have to see the social impact. What is the impact of the income generating according in terms of your needs. It has to be a bit in balance, of course. Yeah, of course you can propose general several IGAs to respond to one bigger need, of course. Possible, but it has to be a bit in line with each other. Okay, and of course we are all brothers of charity, associate members and staff, and being innovative, being creative, if one of our core values as well. We have to see in the new times, in the new challenges, nor new ways to see, to create something. So be innovative, be creative, ask for advice and so on and so on, connect with people, networking and so on and so on. Be innovative and be creative. Okay? Yes. Now there are two specific criteria. So you can see it's more and more concrete. You have to propose to us an IGA with a moderate startup funding, a moderate one. What is moderate? Moderate is that we have set up, for instance, a BUC startup fund that can support for maximum 40,000 euros. That's the max. But I say it again, most of the IGAs are funded for a much lower amount, much lower, but 40,000 is the maximum. Okay, so you have to propose a moderate startup funding. Okay, of course I have some contacts, and they are bigger IGAs or bigger IGAs excluded. No, they are not excluded, but with our team, with the three of us, it is subject for a specific approach. We have specific approaches for that, but it's to extend and then it now to present it here. So you have to keep in mind today 40,000 euros or less, bigger, okay, but that separately, okay? Yeah, is it clear? I think. So requirements, that are the main point. Oh, sorry, yes, I have forgotten one. Sorry, very important. Sorry. It's also important to prove to us, or to your superiors that you have at minimum some expertise in it. If you want to start with a new service, if you want to start with a new product, if you want to start with something else and so on, you have to prove that you have at least a minimum of experience or knowledge in that. So by you, by your team, by your connection, but you have to prove in which way will you integrate that knowledge about management, about that specific IGA, into your proposal. And that, to make it very concrete, we are a bit more severe. Yes, indeed, if you are presenting, and it is allowed. It is allowed. Several of them are agreed as well. But we are a bit more severe for the farming sector, because that's not our basic domain as brothers of charity. So if you propose, and it's allowed, I say it again, an IGA connecting with the farming or the breeding of chickens and so on, you have to prove to us a certain minimum level of knowledge or experience. I hope it is clear. So we are a bit more severe on that. So it is a bit nuanced. Okay, but expertise, of course, it's important. Voilà, brother of the chariot. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
It's a time for a question. And I see we have two questions on the screen. Is someone who is asking about if we have a phone WhatsApp number for communication.
Of course, yeah.
She means your phone or the
Yes.
phone of the of Fracarita.
WhatsApp. Yes, indeed. WhatsApp. Yeah.
Can you provide it?
Yes, of course, yes. It's known, eh? It's known, I think. No, it's known.
Okay. I think it is on some of your documents.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, my email and so on. Yeah, it's known. Yeah, it's public.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's also Kevin who is asking, with the procedure of submitting of the project proposal, we need the same from all continents where the brothers are working.
Yeah, of course, yeah, yes, yeah, indeed.
So the answer is yes.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
We have no exclusions. No. Brothers are brothers. No,
Okay.
operations are operations. I think it depends. And I want to say it later on. It just depends on the quality. So it's not a regional file, regional procedure. It is a quality. So all depends on the quality of the file, no matter from where. But that and it's a bit of a point of invitation of grow. We have to grow a bit together, of course, in the quality of our files. Do you understand? So I want to encourage you to write good, well-founded files, well-founded applications. Quality is the number one. I say it, yeah, again with the quote. I have several times said it with Jimmy. Means or not a problem. The problem or the quality of our files. It's a bit rude, but that's the fact. We can find the means if we have enough qualitative files in which we prove we are standing for what we are saying. We have a good management. It is a good business plan. Financial plan is okay. Then finding the means, it's not that difficult. But the first point, that's the most difficult. So we want to encourage you, and we are here, a bit the three of us, to support you, brothers and staff, to make qualitative files for IGAs. That's our mission, and yes, indeed, also our passion. Yes. So no matter the region, you can send in, of course, through the superiors, the same schedule, but it depends on the quality of the files. Voilà, that's my answer.
Okay, we have more questions in English. So first I will read the question, then after I will translate in French.
Yes.
Another question is, who have to write the project? Who have to present it, and to whom? Yeah,
and it's a bit difficult, I think, but
it's always about the procedure.
Yes, but for my idea, it can be written by the brother in the first place, but of course, and also by a team, brothers and staff, of course. But the connection with the brothers, of course, has to be there. It has to be there. It is an integrated IGA. IGA proposals has to be integrated in the structure of the Brothers of Charity. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question is, what we're going to work on as projects or IGA? Are they for local auto finance, or they will be also for like looking for international partners?
Very good question. Very good question. And I say it, again with some kind of quote. I know at this moment, there are several brothers, who are busy with running an IGA without our help, and that's fantastic. That's fantastic, really. They didn't need our advice. They have done it on their own strength. That's fantastic, and that's our ultimate goal as well. That the brothers are capable to do it themselves. That's also our duty to make them independent at the time being. So I say it again, if they are brothers who are saying, okay, I have a good idea, good plan, I have a good business plan, and I can find myself my own needs, in my own region. Of course, that's fantastic. Do you see? So please, yes, indeed. But if you need us, we are here to help, not to control. No. IGAs is not of us. No, it's about all of us. And some brothers are finding their own auto financing. Yes, and I did applaud that. Really, yes. So the both are possible. Searching through us for means searching for own financing. Yes, okay. As long as, of course, they respond to the requirements, to the ethical code, and so on and so on. That remains. That remains, of course. Yeah.
Yes, Paul, but I think also I want to make a little bit clear.
Yeah.
They can look for partners locally or internationally, but always the procedure should be respected.
Yes.
That means that the one who is initiating a project can write, but before to send to the partner, it's good that the regional superior is informed.
Yes, that's logic.
So Fracarita is informed, because otherwise, when they just send, you may find that you are having like 5 proposals in one organization, then kind of, of crash for projects. So I think the procedure should always be respected.
Yes, indeed. It's very important. It's very important. And indeed, in the past weeks and months, we have sent back some IGAs, of course, kindly, but we have said, okay, but it's very good, but please follow your levels. Of course, yes, it is needed. It has to be an integrated, dialogue IGA supported by the superiors. Yes, that's very important for us to start. Of course, it remains.
I think this question is so important. Let me also translate it in French so that also the brothers from French countries can understand it. La question concerne la procédure, comment nous déposons nos projets pour les activités génératrices de revenus. Et aussi, la question concerne qui peut initier ou qui peut écrire un projet, à qui on peut présenter le projet. Et dans la réponse, nous avons dit que n'importe frère ou bien un membre associé ou bien un collaborateur, il peut initier un projet, il peut écrire un projet, mais la procédure doit être respectée. C'est-à-dire que dès que le projet est déjà rédigé, on présente ça chez le supérieur régional qui va maintenant voir si le projet cadre avec le plan stratégique de la région. Et maintenant, le projet sera envoyé au niveau provincial pour aussi être approuvé. Et après, on va envoyer ça à Fracarita International aussi pour voir si on trouve les fonds pour financer les projets. Je pense que ça doit être clair aussi qu'avant d'envoyer un projet pour un partenaire, il faut que ceux qui sont impliqués dans la gestion des projets soient aussi informés pour éviter qu'il y ait un conflit des projets chez un seul partenaire. Merci. There is another question. Does Fracarita have a specific format for filling the IGA projects?
Yeah, indeed. Yes, we have. Yes, indeed, we have that. Yes, we have. Of course. Yes, I can send it. Yes, well.
Okay.
In English and in French.
Okay, so Fracarita a un format qu'on peut utiliser pour déposer chez les partenaires pour avoir un projet. Et c'est en français aussi, en anglais.
Yeah.
Okay, merci.
May I just make an important correction? It is better to use my WhatsApp number, private one, because it is quicker. That of the work is a bit slow. Do you see? If you want to have a quick, and then so do use my private number, and I can send it now, or I can write it now. It's better.
You can write it on the screen. There's no problem.
Yeah,
Then
okay. So I will now do it.
Yes. Meanwhile, Brother Bienvenu, you can ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. Greetings to you all, brothers and members. I'll be quick. It's rather, I don't know, a question or a comment, but I think it will be clear. First of all, I would like to thank Paul for all the efforts he's been doing since years, and we really, I can see it's taking shape. And we hope that the mind switch will really be concrete. So we've spoken about respecting the procedure. I would like to ask, do regions have strategic plans? If yes, are they available to all the members? Because that's also one of the part, because that will encourage people to put into concrete their ideas. Thank you.
Oops. Yes,
But
Mr.
yes,
Paul.
I think that's more a question for you, eh?
Yes,
If I
I
may
will try
say.
to answer. I think so far there are some regions which have strategic plans, but not all of them. But in our process, we are thinking also that each region should have a strategic plan. And once we have these documents, I think it will be now a way to move better. So those who are having now the strategic plans, they can continue with those documents that they have. Those who don't have, they have to think about now how to start working on them. It is a work, it is a process, but also Fracarita can support in the case there is a need of capacity building. They are always available to support in that process.
Yes.
Am I right, Mr. Paul?
Yes.
You can support, yeah.
Perfect. Yes, indeed. Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
It's our passion to do that.
Yeah. OK. La question du frère Bienvenu, c'était de savoir si toutes les régions ont des plans stratégiques. Ma réponse était que certaines régions, oui, ils ont les plans stratégiques. Les autres n'en ont pas. Et nous les invitons maintenant pour aussi commencer à travailler sur ces documents qui vont aussi nous aider pour intégrer nos projets dans nos plans. Et Fracarita International est aussi disponible pour vous donner un support au cas où vous voulez aussi commencer à travailler avec les plans stratégiques. Merci.
Thank you.
There is another question. C'est en français. Quand les projets sont déjà rédigés, attendez, je vais voir, c'est un peu long la question. It is like a complaint that some of the projects, when they come, they don't get feedback. What happened in that case? Or what happens? Yes.
First of all, yeah, it's correct. Some of them indeed. But I want not to be open a bit with you, but from out of respect, we are now working, all of us, but also our team in an extremely difficult period. So on and so on. It's no secret. So we have now at this moment a very small team, I said it again, 3 persons. I'm very proud of my 2 brothers, of course, but we are just with 3 shoulders and 2 hands, 6 hands, of course. So it is just due to the overload of work that some of them or escape. So first of all, if that happens, my excuses. So I name the fault on my shoulders. First of all, excuse me, and if it is waited too long, please send us a message, email or WhatsApp. Please do it. Please send us a reminder. each day I don't manage to read all my message. It's just impossible. So please, brothers, please send me an reminder if you are thinking, okay, he is waiting too long. We are just with 3 persons, so please help us to connect again. Eh? That's my answer. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Frère Pacom, je pense que vous avez compris, vous avez eu la réponse concernant votre question. Donc, l'équipe de Fracarita n'a pas une grande capacité. Alors, quelquefois, ça demande un peu de la patience quand vous envoyez vos projets. Merci. Okay, I don't see. Yes, there is the brother Jean-Baptiste.
Yeah.
Please, you can ask your question. Brother Jean-Baptiste.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So good evening, Mr. Paul,
Yes.
from here in Indonesia.
Brother.
I'm Brother Philip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My
Thank
question, just not a question, but I would like to say that about IGA in Indonesia already started. For example, in Yogyakarta.
Mm-hmm.
And in Indonesia, of course, we have several obstacles when we have to create IGA. For
Yes.
example, tax. The tax also, because in Indonesia we have the land asset.
Yeah.
So the problem is can be the internal itself, also the external itself. When you have any idea to speak it out, sometimes it's like the problem of bureaucrat of in our regional itself. So it is difficult to, for example, we will have any idea, but sometimes also can be rejected your idea also. And the secondly about the tax, in every region and also province, also they have own regulation about the tax, because our land here is the social, so no tax. And when you open the IGA, of course, you get the income. When you get the income, you have to pay the tax. That's the big problem in our Indonesia. There's several brothers also worry about it. When I started in Yogyakarta, for example, we opened the mini soccer in Yogyakarta. Also, there's a big obstacle there, but we try to communicate with the government. It's a little bit easier, but sometimes, of course, in Indonesia also there are different also regulation in province. For example, in the central of Java, also different in Jakarta also. So this is a big problem. And secondly, about the financial resource. Of course, we can try to get from the local investors also. But the problem is sometimes, several times I meet the investor, always concerned about, okay, we can collaborate it, but they're worried when they change the brother, can be the policy still keep it, or they will change the policies. That's the problem. Because I have several times I met with the investor. Also, they're big concern about that. So maybe you have any idea or suggestion for us? Thank you.
Okay, good. Thanks, brother John. They are many questions inside. There are many questions to my domain and several from Brother Gerald as well, if I may say. So I may try to make a contribution by referring to our meeting of last week with the BOC committee of the CEOs that are befriended CEOs with big firms and so on and so on. They are united in the committee Friends of the BOC. And so we have spoken about it. So now to come to your question, I know there are indeed several regions with several different regulations in the terms of the international financial means transfers. I know that, as well as on the taxes. I know, okay, that's true. So I would propose, if you have an idea, that we focus specific on your region and see what are the specific problems and are there means to give an answer to your challenges. And we have done it, and Brother Jared is aware of that with one of his regions, which are very strict in the international financial means transfer. And we have sought and we found there the solution. So just to say you, we are also here to hear to you specifically and to search together in dialogue, of course, with the superiors, to search for the best solution for your context. So I cannot give an answer for all the regions. It's too complicated, but they are, we believe there are answers possible in dialogue, collaboration with the superiors to search for an adapted answer to your context. Is that a bit an answer?
Okay, I can complete you, Mr. Paul. I have something to add to your answer.
Please.
I think each country has its reality when it comes for taxes and also how to initiate a project. So as we start our projects, we should look at what are the local requirements by the government. And from there now, as you work on your projects, you will see how to meet those requirements. And if there is a need of having a kind of lobbying negotiation, still you can proceed in that way, and also it works. So yes, each country has its reality. As you work on your proposals, check on that.
Yes.
Also, he has a question about stability of the brothers in the community on the apostolates. This is an issue not only in Indonesia, but in many countries, because you know, we depend on the nominations. And when there is a need of a brother in one place, yeah, the speaker will say, kindly, we need you. Can you move? And then he has to move because he has to go to respond to that need in that country or in that place where is needed. For me, my point is, before he moves, there should be a good handing over so that there is a kind of continuation of the communication between the partners and also the brother who is in charge for the projects. That will help. And I think we should develop that culture of having a good handing over. That will be a solution to your question. I don't know if I have tried to answer you, my brother. Okay.
Very true.
Yes. La question de notre confrère de l'Indonésie, ça concernait quelques blocages quand il commence à initier les projets d'arrière-pays. Quelquefois, il y a des taxes que l'État impose et il posait la question comment est-ce qu'il peut s'en sortir dans telle situation. Sa deuxième question concernait aussi la stabilité des frais dans les œuvres ou bien dans les communautés. Et la réponse est que chaque pays a ses réalités. Alors, si vous voulez développer les projets, il faut toujours voir quelles sont les réalités sur le terrain. Et comme ça, si c'est nécessaire, faire des lobbying avec les gouvernements ou avec l'autorité locale. En ce qui concerne les ressources, la stabilité des frais, c'est un peu difficile parce que nous dépendons aussi des nominations. Alors, quand un supérieur demande à un frère de quitter un apostolat ou bien une communauté, bien sûr, il doit se déplacer, il doit aller là où il est beaucoup sollicité. Mais je pense que ce qu'il faut maintenant faire, il faut avoir la remise et reprise qui est bien faite. Dans ce sens, je pense qu'il y aura une continuité entre les partenaires et aussi les frères qui étaient dans une œuvre ou bien dans une communauté. Merci. Il y a le brother Tassien. I see you are raising your hand. Please ask your question. Tassien. Brother Tassien. Meanwhile, Mr. Paul, there's a question from Mr. Nyampeta Boniface.
Okay.
Il veut savoir s'il peut avoir votre document traduit en français. Et je pense que ça vous a déjà répondu. Il y a une possibilité.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All of them. Yes.
Yeah. Brother Tassier, please, you can ask your question.
Yes, Reverend Brother. Good evening, Mr. Paul and
Hello.
Brother, Reverend Brother Provincial.
Merci. Good evening.
I'm very happy really to hear from you, and I'm very encouraged by your commitment really towards IGA and the good of our congregation. My problem, my concern is to hear that really I'm very happy to hear the brother from Indonesia is the one to speak about the community in this meeting. And you all know that the essence of our congregation is the community, the basic phase of our congregation.
I think it's gone, it's breaking.
Oui.
Has been patient. There is a proposal from one brother about the stability of the brothers, the apostolates, and also in the community. The proposal is the following.
A good one.
Let me check. It's from Brother Bienvenu.
Yeah.
It's saying that concerning the stability of brothers and the sustainability of the IGAs, I think here, I means Brother Bienvenu. I think it needs to be clear that an IGA idea may come from one person, but its management should not be run by one person, since it responds to the strategic plan of the region. I'm sure it will be a project of the community and of the region. Therefore, it will be run by a team. I think that is a good also proposal.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes. Very
Yes.
relevant indeed. Yes. It's very strong. Thank you.
Yes. I think it is here sometimes we get problems. When it becomes a personal project, then it becomes a problem. But if it is community for a team, then it moves in a smooth way.
Perfect.
Yes.
Really. Thank you for the idea.
Yeah.
Very good.
Brother Michel, please, you can ask your question. Brother Michel.
Microphone is off. Microphone. Brother Michel? Microphone is off.
Switch on your microphone, then you ask your question, Brother Michael. Maybe
Brother
it's
Michael,
having an issue with his connection.
Yeah. But it's hereby, eh? It's nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are together.
Yeah, it's too close. It's too close.
Okay. Okay. I think those are the questions, Mr. Paul. Maybe we can proceed to the other part.
Yes. So more and more concrete, is it step by step, and now we are coming to a very interesting tool. No, that's not the one. Scoring tool. The scoring tool. The scoring tool. It's a scoring tool. Okay. So I can start with it. I see and I hear many brothers who are saying, okay, I have, yes, indeed. Thank you. I have a splendid idea about an IGA. Can you help me to make it more concrete? And then we are saying, okay, yes, brother, we have a small but a very efficient instrument, a tool which can help you to make it more concrete, more concrete in the terms, is it feasible? That is the central question of a scoring tool. Eh? The scoring tool wants to give you an idea. It's not a decision, of course not. It gives you an idea, a help to make it more clear. And as an answer to the question, is it realistic? Is it feasible? Is it bearable? And therefore, we have developed an Excel file, an instrument, an Excel tool. It looks complicated, but in fact, it is simple. It is simple. Let me just start with one. You have just to fill in one column, and that's indicated in the green. So with the blue arrow, you have just to fill in that column, not the other ones. So only that column you have to fill in. Now, what do you have to fill in? A 0, a 5, or a 10. So a score of 10 is perfectly conform. Yes, agreed. A score of 5 is in the middle. It's partly okay, partly in line. And a 0, it is absent or it is not in line. So 0, 5, or 10. And then connected with 1313 criteria to make it feasible or not. And so you see, for instance, here we have now fill in, thanks to the Jimmy, a 10 for an ethical code. So, for instance, we have an IGA that is perfectly in line with the code of ethics. So you can say, okay, perfectly in line, so you give it 10. And so you can see by the weighing at the last column, it will appear as a 10. 10 weighing 1 is 10. So you have just, I say it again, because sometimes there are problems. You have just to fill in the green column, 0, 5, or 10, and the rest is coming through the system. Okay, and so you fill it in for each of the 1313 criteria, and at the end, you will see you get a figure, a figure on 100. Maximum is 100, of course, and the least one is 0. So it gives you an idea of how feasible is your idea of an IGA. It works very well. So you can try it. Yeah, you can try. So you can see if you score a 10 on each of the 13, you have, of course, a 100 score. That's perfect. So I would say, brother, that is a perfect IGA. Do you see a 10 on all the criteria? So mostly it isn't 100, it is 95, 85, 75. Sometimes it is 40, 40. And then we have, of course, a dialogue. Then it is, of course, the dialogue, word, conversation, a Zoom session based on that. Important is also in that we have two criteria which are crucial. If you score a 0 on that, on those both two, that's the number, let me just see, the number 1 and the number 5, the number 1 and the 5. If you score there a 0, it is ended. Then you score a 0 in the global. So if you score there a 0, you have to stop them. So it means, for instance, for 5, if you score a 0 in the point 5, it means that we want to create an IGA on a plot of which we are no owner or which we cannot rent. Of course, this is a 0. And if that is the case, the scoring stops. So we cannot pass a 0 on 5 or a 0 on 1. If you say, okay, it is not in line with the ethical code, of course, a 0, then it's ended as well. Again, we say an IGA of the Brothers of Charity are strongly connected with our charism, with our values. Therefore, indeed, the ethical code has to be present in your IGA. If you score a 0, then it's over. If you score a 0 on 5, if you do not own the plot on which you want to do something, if we are not owner of the building, if we have no renting contract or something, it is an exclusion score, 0, then it stops. I hope it is not too difficult, but it is a very interesting, supportive instrument for you, to make your idea more concrete in terms of, is it feasible? Is it realistic? Is it concrete enough? Can we bear it? Do you see? So I invite you, we invite you as team, fill it in, make your own score, and based on that score, open your dialogue with your team, with your superiors, with us, and so on. So it is not a decisive instrument, it is a supportive one. It can help you to make your IGA more concrete in terms of feasibility, to open your dialogue with your team and with your superiors. Me, I hope it is not that difficult. Do you understand me, brothers? Yeah, you can say it, Is it clear? So I'm a bit afraid it is.
I hope it is clear. Otherwise, they will ask you questions for clarification.
Yeah, indeed. So I say it again. It is simple to use. Just fill in the column in the green one, and at the end of it, you have your own score. It's for you to score. It has not to be made public. It is for you. It's just to help you to see if your idea is feasible enough. Okay. Scoring tool. Yeah. And you see in the Excel file, so I can send it to you or to Brother Jared, Brother Jimmy. If you see in the scoring tool, there are three pages. In the second page, each of the criteria from 1 to 1-3 is explained. So you can see in the Excel file on the second page what is the explanation of that criteria. So you can understand why should I? Yes. So, and on below, yes, that's it. So you see the explanations. And so you can see why can I give a 5, a 0, a 10 to that criteria. It is again to help you to give a realistic score to you. So if you have questions, you can look there to have more information about the scoring you have to give for you. Okay, and then of course in the third page, the ethical code again is there. So you can check indeed is for the number 1, is it indeed in line with our code of ethics? If it isn't, it is a 0, and with a 0, it stops. Okay. Because it is so important, the value connection with our IGAs. We have to be very severe on that. Okay? Is that a bit clear? Yes. We try to do it, but yes. It depends on you, brothers?
Paul, there is a question from
Yes.
Veronica. Veronica,
Yes,
please, ask a question.
from the
Hello.
Philippines, special greetings. Thank you,
Hello.
Sir Paul,
Okay.
Brother Gerard.
Hello.
I think we are at a very exciting stage in our congregation,
Yeah.
in the sense that we need to rely on ourselves, if at all possible, but also to rely on help, if not possible. I see one possibility that may be considered in the preparation of the IGA. There are maybe associates who know people from another country and who would like to support an IGA of that country. That was what I was trying to say. For example, I have friends in the United States who will want to donate to an IGA in the United States. If by donating, they can receive a tax deduction. Rather than send their support to the Philippines, they are better off donating in their own country. In the same manner, our friends from Europe may want to make a donation to an IGA of a BOC in Europe. So I'd like to request that you open that possibility of external funding for local IGAs, even if they do not come to the Philippines to make a donation. Let it be that our friendship or relations in another country helps the brothers of charity. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good question, I think, and a very important one. So I
Yeah.
may just say my opinion, and then I can give the word to Brother Jared as well. It's important. I can just say, to make it very concrete, in 2021, we went into a cooperation with the King Baudouin Foundation. That's a very renowned foundation specialized in the South worldwide. So with one question, can we create a fund specialized for the BUC, the Brothers of Charity, which is open for donations, Belgium, Europe, the USA, and so on, to put in that fund to support the IGAs of the Brothers of Charity? Is that possible? So very simple. And they said immediately, okay, it is. Okay, of course, there was a meeting and so on and so on. One of the CEOs here of the community was the chairman, and it was founded, it was established in 2021. So if I may give you an answer, donators from the USA, from Canada, name it, and we have them from Germany and so on, who want to support the IGAs of the Brothers of Charity in the Philippines, in no matter where, they can do it through the fund, BUC Startup Fund, with indeed a tax document. Yes, indeed. Also for international donators, for the USA, Canada, Europe, and so on. So it is partly already possible in a formal way. Okay, Brother Jared?
Yes, I can add something to what you have said, Paul. Also, there is another possibility to when it comes for taxes, because we are in different countries and also in different continents. So there is a way we can maybe use a community or an apostolate in the country where we are active as a congregation. Then in that case, because we are donating to a local community or a local apostolate, the money can be transferred from that community to your country. For example, you can say, we have a community in Washington or in Philadelphia. So there is a partner who wants to donate money. You can use the account of the brothers in Philadelphia, then the money can be sent to Philippines. Of course, then you need a kind of procedure to follow, between the two regional superiors and also the provincial superiors. But I think there is a possibility.
Yes, true.
Yes. I hope it is clear to you, Veronique.
Yeah, she can hear it, eh?
Yes, she
No.
can, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay? Yeah. Other questions or
Let
can
me
we-
check from the screen
Yeah.
if there is any question.
Yes.
I think there's no other question. We can proceed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brothers, staff, friends, now we come to the cherries on the cake. Eh? So the final of this session, and that is the application. Eh? That's the goal of today, how and when and so on and so on, about the application of the concept note. So the first phase, the concept note. Okay, so we have spoken in the first session about it, and of course, for that, we have also written a template to help you, to support you to present it and to make it and to send it first to your superiors and then to us. Eh? Okay, so it is a simple template, I think, to help you based on just 10 questions, 10 very concrete questions, and we do request to answer them in a very concrete way, as concrete as possible. Send it to us, but limited to 3 pages, 1, 2, 3. So not a full file. No, that's for later on. Now, concept note is very concise, very concrete, very focused on 3 pages based on 10 questions. Okay, simple but effective, and that's most interesting. So I can go through with it briefly because the time is running, I see. So in the first place, of course, yeah, you can see, you can fill it in, who is submitting and so on about the title, concrete and sharp, make it very concrete again, concrete and sharp, and then you can see from where, who is the submitter, who is responsible, who is the superior, and so on and so on. And then of course, a first estimation of the financial needs. What is the startup cost? What is the estimated, of course, startup cost of the IGA? Dollars and euros in your own currency, you may choose, of course. What is the own contribution? What is your own investment? Of course, we do not, we encourage that it is not zero, that you at least invest some amount, some limited amount, but something. Okay, and then of course, very important, the external partner. Do you have at this moment contacts with an external partner, or is it just open? It could be that you have in the first place, in the first stage, already a partner. Please mention that here. If you don't have, just say, okay, we have not, and we ask just, yeah, that is our need. Just mention that in all transparency. Okay, and then in the year for the startup, it's simple. Then we come to the 10 guiding questions. The 10 guiding, of course, it are just guiding questions. It's no obligation, it's no exam, of course. It's just helping questions to make your idea of an IGA very concrete, to propose it. Yes. 10 guiding simple questions. Okay. So of course you can adapt them, but they are guiding to you. Okay. The first question, so we go through it in a quick way, is just the answer on the why. Why are you doing that? Why is that IGA interesting? What is the goal of it? The motivation? What are the needs behind the IGA? So the why. So I do refer to the first session theory of Sinek, start each time if you're doing with the why question. So also here with the IGA, what is the why? The why question of your IGA. Explain it to us. Simple words, very concrete, but effective. Yeah? The why question. Of course, location. Location is very important. Where do you want to set up? So on and so on. Location, just simple describe where. What is the context? That. Then, of course, 3, the core. Which things do you want to produce? Service, product, and so on and so on. How? Make it very concrete to sell, to develop, to offer, and so on and so on. Describe it. Which are the things you want to do? Yeah. And then, of course, the process. How will you do it? By reading something, by training people to do a service, and so on and so on. What is your process of production? Simple, but very concrete. Again, write it here down to present. 5, finances. What is your intended, dreamed of generating income? What is your income net profit after the cost, of course? What is your net profit you want to generate? In which period of time? Within 1 year, within 2 years? Describe it. What is your intentional, dreamed of profits? Okay. Point 6, that's a bit difficult, of course, but compare what is the intended profits comparable with the needs. How do they compare with each other? What is the contribution in a percentage compared with the real needs? So make an attempt, an estimation. Is it for the whole of it, or a tenth, 1,000th of it? Fine. Name it. What is the extent in which the profit actually contribute to the financial means it aims to relieve? Okay. 7, we have spoken about, but we wanted to know it in advance. What is your competence, your expertise, knowledge about the business, about the service, products, and so on? Do you have experience in that? If not, okay, no panic. How will you acquire it in the short term? Through your team, through yourself, and so on and so on. How will you acquire that? For instance, we have a magnificent IGA for a bakery, the Philippines. So I can say it. Very good, very good. The brothers have proven to us that they have acquired some minimal expertise in the bakery businesses. Yes, it was very good. It was very good. They have shown it. How did they acquire some minimal, basic, fundamental expertise in it? Yes, they have. Then that's what we do mean. Do you have expertise? Okay, is the best, of course. If you don't, prove to us how will you acquire that in the short term. Okay, the both are possible. Okay. Then 8, of course, essential clients, customers. On which clients are you focusing on? Which is your niche? Which is your group, focal groups, and so on and so on. Clients, describe a bit. Yeah? Okay, as concrete as possible. Very, very, very concrete. And then, of course, 9, which startup capital do you need? Very concrete. Which? How much is that? Which startup capital? How much do you need? That we want to know in advance. An estimation, of course. And then, of course, and it is said several times, it depends on the quality, of course, of the management. So please describe it. How will you manage that? As some brothers said, okay, it is best you do it with a team, not by one brother or staff alone, but please do it, manage that with a team. A team is so important. Yes, indeed. And so here you have the chance, the opportunity to describe that. Daily management by who, which team, and so on and so on. In which way? Describe it here. So I say it again. Don't make it too long. Very concrete, very concise, but transparent in 3 pages. Not 4, not 5, not 10. Oh no. 3 pages. Okay. Is that clear, brother?
I hope it is clear. Let's check if they have some questions.
Yeah.
So far, there is one question from Veronica.
Yeah.
It is about the changes in currencies and
Yeah.
also when it comes for foreign affairs exchanging. When you find that you are working on a project today, you are having a rate of exchange, then the project is submitted, but after a while, there is a change in the rate of exchange. So her question is, how do we deal with that?
Yeah, indeed. It can happen, and it has happened, of course. And we have to solve it when it happens, of course. So we are not the big bank. We are not a huge team who can assess it and so on and so on. So we have to search for solutions the moment it is there. So, yeah, that is a bit my so yes, indeed.
Okay. La question de Véronique concernait la variation des taux d'échange. Et cela peut arriver que quelqu'un est en train d'écrire un projet et quand le projet est déposé, il y a déjà la variation des taux d'échange. Alors, elle voulait savoir comment est-ce qu'elle peut procéder avec son projet alors qu'il y a déjà un changement dans ce qu'elle avait planifié comme l'objet. C'est un peu difficile pour avoir une réponse précise.
Yeah, difficult, yes.
Ouais.
Yeah. C'est un peu difficile, hein?
Ouais.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Brothers, any question? Brothers and the collaborators, any question? Feel free to ask. Si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas à poser les questions. Donnez les commentaires et aussi les suggestions. Okay. There's no question.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Everything is clear. I hope so.
Yes, I hope. Do you still have more to present? Or
No.
that was the last part?
That was the last part of the phase 1. Eh?
Okay.
So the second phase, of course, is about the business plan, and that's a very important phase, I think, because there's a second phase. Eh? So and that's a bit more extended. Eh? This is the important, of course, the crucial first phase from an idea to an application of the concept note. Eh? It's crucial, and then we go to a second phase next time. I hope so.
Yeah.
No?
We plan for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there is no more questions, I think we can end our meeting. So thank you, Mr. Paul, for your presentation.
Thank you.
We thank all the brothers, collaborators who attend this meeting. Thank you for your participation. And we hope that what we have learned will help us as we move in this process of self-sustainability in our regions and also in our provinces. Nous sommes presque à la fin de notre réunion. Alors, nous disons merci à M. Paul pour sa présentation. Nous disons aussi merci à tout le monde pour votre participation. Disons aussi merci pour votre contribution et votre question. Si vous avez encore d'autres questions, il ne faut pas hésiter de nous envoyer vos questions par email ou bien par WhatsApp et nous serons très heureux pour vous répondre. Merci beaucoup et que Dieu vous bénisse. Alors, Paul,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you again.